Hello, friends, and welcome. I'm Cassidy Carson, and this is The Life of a Writer. Today, as I'm recording this, is Monday, February 16th, excuse me, 2026. It is the President's Day holiday here in the United States, which means some of the more official offices and schools are closed. A lot of businesses are still open, though. President's Day is a celebration of a couple of our presidents. I believe it was Washington and Lincoln. Instead of having separate birthday celebrations for them, they were compiled into one day off. So it is another 3-day weekend. And it may be a good thing because I've been talking about how beautiful the weather here has been over the past several weeks. It's been like spring, and now we're getting forecasts that we may get up to a foot of snow in the next couple of days. So if you can see behind me, I have the curtains closed right now, but it is gloomy out there. We don't have any sunshine right now. It is not too cold yet, and there's no wind, which is interesting because usually as a storm is coming in, we'll get a lot of wind. But right now it's calm, it's gray, it's cool, not cold, and we're bracing for what could be a big winter storm. And it is still winter. We've got a little bit over a month, I think, until the first day of spring. So inevitably, after our false spring here in northern Nevada, we will get a storm or two and get more moisture. So we have been preparing for that today. I had to go and dig out the snow shovels just in case. We'll see if we actually get as much as they're predicting, but it could be an interesting week. Thankfully, JT and I don't really have to go anywhere because we're retired, so we can work anywhere we want. He is out working right now on his book 4 of the Sheriff in Nevada series. So he's been going out in the mornings. He likes to have a change of view, get out of the house for a little bit, and do some writing. And in the meantime, I've done things like start the laundry, dig out the snow shovels, and get dressed in my comfy clothes because I need to get down to some more revising. Currently in Restless Spirits Book 2, I've completed 4 chapters of revisions and I'm completely rewriting the 5th chapter. I decided that based on some of the comments the beta readers were making, I needed a chapter that was going to provide more backstory to things that were going to happen toward the end of the book. And this chapter seemed like it wasn't really necessary. It did move the story along, but not in the way I think the story needed to move. So I'm in the middle of rewriting a complete chapter. Hopefully once I've done that, the rest of the revisions will be pretty smooth and quick. My goal is still to get this book into our editors by the end of this month, which will be a week from Friday. February is a short month, so we have 12 days left. I'm hopeful, fingers crossed, that I will get this manuscript done and maybe back to JT for a quick pass before it goes to the editors before the 28th. My real hope is that it will be sometime later this week because I have so many things to do. I really want to get moved on to the next manuscript, Restless Spirits Book 3. I have a lot of house cleaning to catch up on, and I don't want to take a complete day off right now to do major house cleaning when I really need to get these revisions done. So with that in mind, I'm going to keep the video short today. I just thought I would do a quick update about what's going on, both weather-wise and with our manuscripts. JT and I are starting to also set up our events for the year. We have 2 group book events that will be happening, I believe, in April and June at this point. They're not completely set in stone yet, but we have expressed our interest in being involved in those events. We are also going to be appearing at the Churchill County Library at the end of May, which will be fun. Churchill County was actually the first library that picked up JT's Sheriff in Nevada books. So it will be nice to go out there. That is in Fallon, Nevada, which is where the Fallon Naval Air Station is. So Fallon is not as large as Reno, might be comparable to Carson City maybe. They do have quite a transient population because of the Naval Air Station. And if you have seen the movie Top Gun, I believe parts of the flying sequences when they're in training were filmed around the Fallon area. So it's about an hour to the east of Carson City. It's not a horrible drive. It should be a lot of fun. And like I said, that will be toward the end of May. JT and I will be doing a joint discussion of our books. I believe the idea is to just talk about our Nevada-centric books because it is a Nevada library and we're not completely up to speed yet on what the library is requesting for this event, but it will be interesting because this will be our first library event. And it's fun how many different things we're doing every year now that we've really got the business, the first year under our belt. We've renewed our LLC, we've renewed our business license for the year. We're setting up our events for the year based on the things we did last year, and we have a lot of exciting things coming up in 2026, including maybe a pretty fun trip that we will be talking about more as the trip gets closer. We have some very generic plans in mind. We do have a route mapped out, and now we're working on the specifics of what exactly we will be doing along the way. But I will keep you posted as we continue to work toward our event schedule for 2026. Like I said, it's going to be very exciting. And that's another reason why we need to get our books done early in the year, because toward the end of the year, things tend to get busy on the promotion front. So we're trying to front load the year with our manuscripts that we will be releasing. And then we'll be a little more free to actually do those events later in the year. And I will say that last year during some of our book events, JT just brought along his MacBook and was writing while we were waiting for people to come and chat with us. So I don't know if that's something I might try to do in the future as well. I am working on being less distracted by my surroundings and trying to get some work done in places other than my house. So we'll see how that goes. We do have some writing plans for the road trip that we have planned as well. And we have mentioned that we are considering co-writing another romance in the Queens and Consort series, which is the From Tundra to Tiara series. And that may be what's happening in that time period when we go on our road trip. So just a few hints about what's to come, a few updates on what we're doing, and a little bit of let's wait and see what happens on the weather system here, because it could be an interesting few days. If it does snow, I hope to get out and get some pretty snowy footage because we haven't had any yet this year. The only snow we've gotten up to this point was a little bit of a dusting that melted pretty quickly. So if we get about a foot, that will make things much prettier. We are at the very gloomy point of the year where the trees are budding. We can tell that they're going to be starting to bloom fairly soon. There will be a delay, of course, if the weather cools down and we get snow, but I can see hints of spring out there, and we did have one little flower pop up in our front yard, so that's always a nice sign of the green to come again, because everything right now is just gray and brown. Not so bad on those beautiful sunny days that we had for the past few weeks, but on these cloudy days, it's a little rough. Also, the weather seems to be wreaking havoc on my body. I start to ache and get sinus pressure and everything when we have weather changes. So getting work done today is going to be a little bit on the challenging side, but I'm going to go and sit down and get that 5th chapter rewritten. Hopefully by the time I update you tomorrow, I will have moved on maybe several more chapters. We'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, I thank you for joining me on this update day. I hope that everything is going well where you are, that you're having a good week so far. If it is a holiday for you, I hope you're relaxing and maybe enjoying a good book. If you are interested in something that maybe you haven't tried yet, be sure to check out our website, www.carsonhume.com. If you'd like an autographed copy of one of our books, you can also go to carsonhume.square.site and you can order one of our autographed books there as well as our book bag. So we do have a lot of books available right now. I can see our bookshelf off to the side because I'm sitting in our dining room / studio space. I have talked about hoping for an actual studio at some point, so go back and if you rewatch some of my previous videos, you'll see where I talked about that. I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, maybe. Since I'm doing daily videos right now, I am having a hard time keeping track of what I posted when. So we'll see how this experiment continues throughout the year as well. We are up to I think this is day 47 of posting. So I am keeping track and I am staying on track. And if we do the road trip that we have planned for this year, there will be some very interesting videos to come. So I hope if you have just stumbled across this, that you will follow along, maybe subscribe to my channel, do all of the things, of course, ring that bell, blah, blah, blah. I don't normally say those kinds of things because I understand that I'm going to be probably part of a very niche group of people. And if my channel grows, it will probably be very slow and not take off like some other channels have. But that's something else you can keep track of if you follow along here, is whether or not my channel actually starts growing this year. I've gained 2 or 3 new subscribers, and I thank you very much for following along. But in the meantime, I really have to stop procrastinating and get back to work. So again, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Take care, and I'll see you again tomorrow. I'm Cassidy Carson, and this is The Life of a Writer.